This is the fourth year of this event. To see where it's grown from 2022 to now, what maybe makes you the most proud?
You know, the fact that it's keep going and the sponsors are there for us and the kids are excited and the job fair. There's so many things around this game. It's not just a football game. So now we're making this an event, make it where the people of New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and the surrounding areas want to come to this. And I think that's where we're getting to, and we just hope that we keep going forward. We're lucky and we're prideful and everything that we got the sponsors that we have. And because, you look at it, they look at it as a great opportunity too. And I think adding the job fair with it makes it even that much more. And I think that's why a lot of these people want to be involved.
I love with the roster today, it shows the players that have at least got a chance to be on a practice squad, I believe it was. And it's 7 players now that have participated in this event have at least made a practice squad in the NFL. When these guys come here this week, I think it's 46 participants that was on the list,
right,
either combine and or playing in the game. What's the biggest thing that you want them to get out of this experience?
Number one, to understand that it is a combine, but you got to act like you belongs here. Go out and perform. At the end of the day, they got to understand, too, that the National Football League is not just running and tackling. You can't get ready in a week, can't get ready in a year. This is something, if you think you want to do it and you got the talent to do it, you do this from the time you set foot in college to this day. And when you go out there, you got to show what you got and let everybody else see it. With all the scouts here today, they was here for a reason. They was here to see talent. And if you chose not to participate, not to run, you only hurt yourself, because at the end of the day, this is the biggest interview that these kids going to ever get coming out of college.
Absolutely. It's funny that, obviously the Super Bowl was here this year, and for the second time in 3 years, we had 2 black quarterbacks facing off against each other for the championship. You being the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl and win Super Bowl MVP, to see Patrick and Jalen and the overall progress of the black quarterback in the NFL, how proud are you of that progress?
Well, when you think about it, remember now, it's been 37 years when I was quarterback. 37 years. And when I think about that and what I saw this past week with the 2 black quarterbacks, and then the first thing I thought about 37 years ago, but not only 37 years ago, the guys that didn't get an opportunity before me. And if those guys, the Marlon Briscoe and the James Harris and all those guys who played back in the day, if they had gotten the opportunity to play in the National Football League, we wouldn't be talking about 2 black quarterbacks. Probably happened a long time ago. Probably happened before me. But the fact that it did happen, I was the first one. Then you had Russell Wilson, and then you had Patrick Mahomes again. And now the league last year started 15 black quarterbacks from the start of the season. So, and then the playoff, it was 7. So you got 7 in the playoff. And the chance of getting 2 black quarterbacks in the Super Bowl was a lot greater than it's been over the years. And now we're at that point now. It's not something that we should talk about. It's something that happens. We just deal with it. That's what it should be.
Well, and to be honest, that is kind of what it's become. It looks like so many of the other position groups that it's been in the NFL. You mentioned even the 7 in the playoffs. Had the Ravens beat the Bills, it would have been all 4.
Yeah. But you know what? You don't even worry about that. The fact that they're getting the opportunity to play, and that's all we want. It's whether you make the playoff or not, the fact that you get the chance to play and it's fair, and the NFL has been fair over the last few years, and nobody's saying that we don't want this guy because he's black. We want this guy because he can play, and I think that's all you want to hear.
You obviously have always made it a point to pour back into Grambling, to pour back into HBCUs, to pour back into the NFL, to black quarterbacks, things of that nature. Patrick Mahomes is one of the founding sponsors of this event. Jameis Winston is someone who is also a sponsor in this event. To and you hear from so many of the other guys like Hurts or whoever else, to see those guys maybe pouring back in and looking to also water those seeds as you have done over your years. I mean, I guess, what does that mean to you?
Well, you think about what Patrick Mahomes has done, making sure that we can do this. Jameis Winston, making sure that we can do Bobby Wagner, Aaron Donald. All those guys is given to make sure this event goes forward. And, my hat's off to them. Neither one of them went to a historical black college, but I think they understand what Shaq and I are trying to do, and they want to get on the bandwagon. I like that.
curious. I'm just really curious. Do you see a shift in, like, I know, like, FCS, FBS, like, I don't know, the schools, like, the talent level is just transferring from those schools to go to a bigger school. How much do you think that would affect HBCUs in a positive light in the long run?
You know, at the end of the day, you got to look at it from a realistic standpoint. How many players that leave that? There's only going to be 1 or 2 guys that get a chance to go up. The key here, you build a good team out of a lot of young guys growing up, and if you lose one, that's fine because you got them coming. You know, you can't get caught up in the fact that I lost 1 or 2 guys and you start crying about your team, because it is a team. It's 22 starters. And so it's going to take more than those 2 guys to make your team. So you got to prepare your team, not worry about who left, because when they left, they ain't no part of it. Ain't no sense crying. Old spill milk, as they say.
And I guess in talking about all of the guys, I mean, you're still so close to the Washington franchise. To see Jaden Daniels, I'm sure it's somebody that, you know, in his 2 years spent in Louisiana that you had an eye on, at least to some degree. To see what he was able to do in his first year, what was maybe the thing that you took away from it the most?
The humility that he has. How he handled himself, not on the football field, but off the football field. You know, in the building every day. How he treated people, how everybody treated him. Man, I mean, you look at a guy that was really loved, not only in that building but in the city, and how he handled it with real humility. Man, I think that in itself helped him to be the guy that he is, but with talent. All that goes together.